We need to sort out the display in all of our views and set the cameras properly. In the menus, choose Display, Show, Cameras. Dolly back a bit in the perspective view. Tumble around and you can see that the cameras are not optimally placed. This is the top camera. Select it and move it up. And we can see the translate Y value has increased. Set that to 10 meters. This is the side camera. We need to move that in the X-axis. Pull it back so that the green line is facing into the scene. We've got a value here. Translate X. Let's make it 20. Tumble around again. Select that third camera. That's the front view. Over here in the top panel, move it down. Once again, so that the line is pointing into the scene. Translate Z, I'll set to 20. We got those cameras positioned. We can hide them once again. Display, hide, cameras. Next, we can choose our display modes. In the perspective view, I'll go up to the panel toolbar and click Wireframe on Shaded. Now I can see the wires superimposed. Select the object and we can delete its construction history. Edit, delete by type history, and turn on Smooth Mesh Preview with the 3 key. Another setting that's really helpful with polygon modeling is Tumble on Object, so that we could click on a certain location and have the view orbit around that location. Currently it's turned off. I'll turn it on by going into the View menu and choosing Camera Tools, Tumble Tool Options, enable Tumble on Object. Close the tool settings. If I Alt left click on a certain location, I'll tumble around that location. Let's start shaping our model. I'll orbit around to the back. Get in closer. And select in component mode. Right-click and choose Face. Choose the Select tool with the Q keyboard shortcut. Click on that center face and grow the selection with greater than or Shift period. Now I've selected all those back faces. As you can see, they're on the top of the top view. This is the rear of our object, and this is the front. With those faces selected, press Delete. Let's begin shaping it. Dolly back a bit in the perspective view. Select all of the corner edge loops. Right-click and go into Edge. Double-click to select an edge loop. Hold down Control, Shift, and double-click to add to the selection. Now I've got all of those 4 edge loops selected. And use the Scale tool. Keyboard shortcut is R. Scale it in the front viewport. You'll notice that we're getting it scaling in all 3 dimensions, so it's distorting here. Of course, we don't want that. Press the Z key to undo. We can click on this little square off to the side, which will allow us to scale in X and Y, but not in Z. Try to make that a tube shape. That looks pretty good. At this point, we can start shaping the model. We can select in numerous ways. It's easy to select edge loops. Just double-click. We can also select in vertex mode. Right-click and choose vertex. And drag a rectangle around an edge loop in vertex component mode. I actually prefer to use vertices. It's easier for me to see. We just want to shape up the model very roughly at this point, maintaining its overall symmetry. I can scale and position. Press the R key to scale. We can use soft selection if we want. Press the B key to enter soft select mode. Hold down the B key and left mouse click and drag left to right to change the brush radius. And once again, we can scale. Maybe select more than one edge loop. Press the B key again to turn soft selection off. Let's take a look at the nose cone here. I'll select these vertices at the end and press the F key to frame those. Tap the spacebar and go out to the perspective view. This object is built out of all four-sided polygons, so it does satisfy that requirement for subdivision surfaces. However, there are places where the topology is not optimal. For example, here you'll see there are three edges meeting at a corner, and that's not as beautiful as a place where four edges meet. We'll fix this just by deleting these faces here at the end. Right-click and go into Face Component mode, select that center face, press the Shift period keyboard shortcut and grow that selection, and then press the Delete key on the keyboard. Let's check to see what our original mesh object looks like. Press the 1 key, dolly back a little bit. Press the 3 key once again. Maybe go back to the side view. Right-click, Vertex, select, use the Move tool, W key, the Scale tool, which is R. We can scale these vertices down to almost nothing. Later, if we wish, we can cap this off, either with just a flat polygon face or with a primitive such as a hemisphere. We should wait to do that until we've roughed out the surface and we've done the work that we can do with subdivision surfaces. And when we're in our final detail pass, we can add little tiny polygon details such as this. At this point, we're in a good place once again to save out another version. Right-click and go back to object mode and choose File, Increment, and Save.